all to this session of 13th day session of web application designing on ASP.NET. So in today's session, what we are going to learn, we are going to see is that how a web application, a web page is given a wonderful design, a very good and attractive representation. How does it look? And what are the things required to do that? In our previous session, we all did about related to data, means how to send data from our web application to database, how to retrieve application from our database, and stuff like that. But now what we are going to do, we are going to make the page, the form in which we are using the controls, a little bit look beautiful and attractive, because whenever somebody opens the web page, they're going to like the page, and they're not going to think that the page has been designed by a newcomer or a student, because every page in Hindi there's a saying that jo dikhta hai wo bikta hai, means we have to design, we have to create our page in such a manner that it looks attractive, it's look very professional, it's look very compatible to the user, because it is very boring to see the old page, simple kind of controls without any design, good design, and our eyes get bored with that. If the look and feel of the web page is good, then the user will take interest in working upon the software. So for that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to first of all, I'm going to show you some demonstration. Okay. Now if I open the Gmail, only I'll go for Gmail only. If you can see, if I open the Gmail, the selected bar is in round shape. We have different sections for different settings. We have this column, the middle one, the big one is for the emails. We have buttons in the right. They have used icons also. We have buttons on the top, the sharing text box. Over here also, you can see this kind of menu. This is called drop down menu, and the design is very much professional and perfect. Okay. In the same way, that what we are going to do, we are going to design our page as well. But there are many process and many you can say steps of designing. The very unique and the beginner stage of designing, what it is, I'm just going to show you. First, let me open the form in which we are just using day 12. Let's see on which page we are having. We are having this. No, I don't want this page. What I want is that student detail page. We are working on this page, student detail. Now you can see I have used a simple and a basic form of designing in a form of color and making the heading, changing the form and making it bold. So these decorating of this is also comes under designing, but it doesn't come under professional designing. Okay, I will do one thing. I will try to change the button. There are 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 buttons. The first 4 buttons I would like to show you how to make changes on this particular page to make your button something very attractive, because it is showing the same default color with the same font with the same size. default size. So what I will do, I will go to this form, the design part. Once it open, I will go to the buttons. Button 1. If I click on after the text, if I click, go to take my mouse to the button, if I click, you can see the property window of this particular button in the right hand bottom side is open. Now what I will do, I will select for the search for the style. Just a minute. Style. No, I won't be finding this is style in this, because the style is a property of HTML control. If I go to this button, I will be finding, you can see right here, back color. So I will be taking the back color. Suppose I will take green or something like this. Okay. Now the back color has been selected. Border style, I don't want any border, so I will select for none. Border width, as I don't have any border, I won't be taking any width. Now I will go for the height and width. The height I will keep 30, and the width I will keep 50. Now these are the things which I have just added to the button. The ASP web server side control button is the designing part of this particular button. Okay, now let's just save it and refresh the page and see what's happened. Now you can see the design, the look of the insert button has been changed. We can do the same thing with the clear button also. How? By just copying the changes, the style changes which we have done on button 1, the insert button, just copying it and pasting it to the button 2, which is clear button, and saving the page and just refreshing the page. You can see the clear button is also been changed with the same style property. Now with the third button, I will like to do the same. I will copy the property of this particular button, means the height, weight, the background, and the style. I'm going to paste it inside the update button also. Now if I just refresh the page, you can see the update button is also been changed in that particular manner, what we have done previously with the 2 buttons. Now this is very good. It's a very easy task, don't you think? It's a very easy task to do, changing the button property, color, the font, the height, the width easily. Now just imagine you are having 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 buttons in this particular page. In this only page you are having 7 buttons. But imagine how many buttons there would be if you create a big project. Maybe 50, maybe 60, because every page contains few buttons. If I'm making a project of 10 pages, and if I have 7 buttons in one page, just imagine how many buttons I have to design, means 70 buttons. So to cut the effort into short, we are going to use CSS. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. It is a common sheet. You can just take it in this way, that it's a common sheet where we write the common design controls, common design things, common design HTML codes in that CSS, and we name it as a class. And that class we can call out any of the control on any control. Suppose I'm having 10 pages and I have created this particular design part in the CSS, in one of my CSS. And now what I will do, I will just write the class name in every control, and this particular design, the design property, will be attached to it automatically. So it will be very easy for me to change, to add the class instead of writing the entire statement of the control in every button of the project. Are you getting my point? So we are going to use some CSS file also. So to add a CSS file, what we are going to do, we have to go to website. We have to select add new item. When the window opens, just scroll it and go to the style sheet, you're going to find a sitemap style sheet. This is the style sheet, CSS sheet. You can by default name is system style sheet.css. Let it be with this name only, and just add this file inside your project. In a professional project, what we do, we create a folder for it. As in our today's topic, is to tell you something about Bootstrap introduction, also how to implement your Bootstrap also. If I explain you these two, you will be able to add Bootstrap and add the classes also. But first, I was willing to tell you how to use the CSS with a very simple codes. So you can see that there is a body tag open and a body tag close. Okay. Now what we are going to do, we are going to add a class. How to add a class? We don't need requires body. We will write dot btn class. Okay. We'll open this and we will close this. Now our class name is btn class. Inside this btn, what I'm going to do, I'm going to write these properties. Background is this, style is this, height is 30, and how we are going to write. As soon as you press Control space, you're going to see a menu open. First of all, we are going to write the back color, BACK, background. You can see background color. We will add this. And now what we are going to do, we are going to add this particular property, means the color numbers over here. This. Now, the back color is this. For this particular button class, we are going in whatever control we are going to use this class, btn class, that particular control, the background of that particular control is going to be changed with the background color, what I have mentioned over here. Now the second thing is border style is none. So I will press Control Enter, BOR, border equals to NON. Everything comes automatically. So you have for you to just put a very little effort. Now the height and width, Control Enter. Height 30 px and width will be 50 px. Only these things. Remember, you can see it over here. Back color we have written border style also, height also, and width also. Only 5 properties we have taken. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 properties. Sorry. That only property we have mentioned in our btn class. Now what we will do? Now we have to call this CSS file. If we click on CSS file, drag it on our screen, just below the title, you can see this style sheet has been carried out and to our page. This means whatever style, whatever classes, you can have many classes inside one CSS file. Whatever class, how many, doesn't matter it's how many classes, 1 class, 2 class, 3 class, and whatever property does any class have, all those class can be used in this particular form. If I just write the link of the CSS file which we want to attach with this page. Now the process of attaching is very simple. Just drag and drop the style sheet to your page below the title, and all the classes inside this, we can use all the classes inside this style sheet. Now after exporting, if you can see, I have used only on 3 buttons. Okay, insert, clear, and update. I have used what I have used. I have just written the exact property which these buttons should have. Means the background, what will be the background color, what will be the style of the border, and the height and width. But in rest of the buttons, like delete button, next button, query string, and save data, I haven't used any class. That's why it is showing in this manner. Okay. Now what I will do, from delete button, I will be adding that particular class which we have mentioned in our style sheet. I will put space and I will write CSS. Now you can find it over here, CSS class. As I select the CSS, it's going to show me the same class which we have mentioned in our style sheet. I will just go to it and I will just press space and the class has been selected. Means this class will be coming from where? From this particular style sheet. And this style sheet, what we did, we have mentioned, and on the top of our screen, means below the title, we have mentioned this particular style sheet. So what will happen, whatever classes this style sheet will have, that classes we can use in any of our control on this particular page. So what we did, we wrote our class in a particular style sheet and we just added the class link, added the style sheet link on our top of the page, and we just used the class. Now, do you think the delete button will also having the same properties, the color property and the border property, the height and width property of insert, like insert, clear and update? If you are thinking it's going to have, then you are right. Now you can see the delete button property is also being changed with the background, with the style, with the height and with the width. Now, if you can see over here, for above these three buttons, I have written separately the style. I've changed the few properties. I've written the style of the background, the color of the background, the style of the border, and height and width. And in the fourth button, the delete button, I have just called the class. So what is happening? The class, which the application knows that this class is having this property for this particular control, and is going to export. It is exporting from there. In the same manner, if I just copy the class and paste it on all the other buttons, all the other buttons are going to change the same manner like the first three buttons has been changed. Okay. Now you can see the next page is getting cut off with some alphabets. Query string is also been cut off and the show data is also been cut off. Why? Because all the classes are having the BTN class having the width is 50. If I just change from 50 to 100 only here, remember only in one class. Now what will happen? All the buttons, sorry, 100, I mean, I have written 10. All the button having the same class, automatically you can see the width is changed, but not for the first three buttons, because for the first three buttons we haven't used the class. We have written the property separately into that button. So what we are going to do, just to make you understand, I have just written for the first three buttons. In these three buttons also I'm going to add this class, because as this class also contain all the properties which we have written separately in all our buttons, in the first three buttons. Okay. Now whatever change we have to do in this class, we are to these buttons, we will just make the changes in one style sheet. Only one place we have to make the change, and that particular change will be applied to all the controls on our screen. You can see it like that. Right there, all the width, all the height, all the color, background, and the border has been changed. Now, if you want, you can just increase also. From width, I have just increased from 100 to 150. I will just save the class and I will just, you can see that here. All the buttons has been changed. So basically, what does the CSS do? A CSS is a combine of many CSS classes which can be implemented or which can be used for any control, any same control inside our entire project. The benefit of using CSS is that only in one place you have to write the design coding, and you just have to call that particular class in whatever control you want. You don't have to write separately the properties for any other control. Okay, so I believe everybody has understood what is the purpose of CSS. We have just used a very simple CSS file with the changing of the property of a button. Now I will be adding a property of text box also. Okay, so for that, what I will do, I will try to create a next class, txt. You can name anything you want. Curly bracket open and curly bracket close. We have to write the code between the curly brackets. Okay. Now, what do you think your text box should look like? I want that my text box should the width and height should be same, and the background should be little means you can say a very some different color. So I will write back color I will be choosing aqua. Border I will be using none, and height and width, you want to know the height and width should be, the height should be the same with the 30 px, and the width should be 150, 100 px. Okay, width should be 100 px. Now if you can see over here, we have created two classes inside our style sheet. First class is for buttons and the second class is for txt class. Now this class, we will copy this txt CLS and we will be using it from on our text box. If you click on text box, you will press space and write CSS class. What we are going to use, we are going to use this class, CSS class, and that's it. And the same class, what we are going to do, we are going to copy the same class and we are going to copy in all our text box, because not only on text box, on our drop down list also. Every design, the design of every text box will be changed according to the class. Okay, now let's see, run and see what happened. Okay, you can see the background has been changed. The width also been changed. So I will change the width of the, I will change the width to 200 of this particular txt button. Txt means, okay. Now you can see the property of this particular, all the text box has been changed. The background is been changed. The the border is also been changed as none, and every control, in whatever control we will use, that's the thing which we are going see in this particular screen. So my point here is to let you know how to use a CSS, because in future, if you don't know how to use the CSS and how to update or modify according to your requirement, it will be very difficult for you to make some changes or designing in our future sessions. Now you can, I believe you all have understood what is the purpose of this particular class and CSS also, and how to implement CSS in our screen. Now our next topic is the Bootstrap introduction and implementation of Bootstrap. So what is a Bootstrap? Bootstrap is nothing but a group of files containing CSS and JavaScript files. Okay. So for a bigger project, what we do in today's world, we all know that most of our people or the user uses the Android app phone, and we all want everything on our screen. Okay, so but the screen size differ from one user to another. Somebody use 6 inches screen phone, somebody use 4.5, the Apple user uses 4 point something, and everything. So we want that whatever we design, and whoever the user will be, whoever you means anybody who opens our site in his or her mobile application on a Google Chrome or any other browser, our application should adjust according to the screen size. Okay, and the alignment, the width, height, of every control on that particular page should not vary or should not look bad. So we want our web application to adjust by himself according to the screen size of the Android user or Apple user on browser. So how to do that? So there previously, before a decade or 10 years or 12 years, there was a very little concept of responsive web applications, or you can say mobile friendly or mobile responsive applications. Which stands mobile responsive stands for the adjustment of any application automatically by itself on the mobile phone, on the mobile screen, on the mobile browser. Means if somebody open a 6-inch, somebody have a 6-inch mobile phone, Android phone, if somebody opens my website, it will fit according to that particular screen size. If somebody have a smaller screen size, means 4-inch, 4.5 inch, the application should have something that it adjusts itself according to the screen size of the Android phone. For that, we will be using Bootstrap. Bootstrap is nothing but a collection of many CSS files, having many classes inside the CSS file, having many collections of JavaScript also. Okay. And to download Bootstrap, you just have to write download latest Bootstrap version from Google. You will be getting a file in a form of a zip folder when you download it, and when you will open the zip folder, you are going to find, now let's see what we find in here. We are going to find the same Bootstrap CSS file and JavaScript file. There's these two folders, and when you open the CSS file, you're going to find many CSS file naming Bootstrap, Bootstrap Robot, Bootstrap, and many other Bootstrap Grid and things like that. And if you open the JavaScript file also you're going to get JavaScript.bundle, JavaScript.esm, and many JavaScript. So Bootstrap is a collection of CSS and JavaScript files which are having many classes inside us in every CSS file. And that particular class, what we are going to do, we are going to use it in our project. We don't have to think about the design. We don't have to think about the look. We don't have to think about the presentation of our controls of our screen inside on a mobile phone. That all things will be take care of the classes pre-made inside our Bootstrap folder. So how to implement it? We just have to copy the CSS file and JavaScript file, and we just have to paste it inside our project like this. So you are having CSS and JavaScript file right here. When you refresh the project, you are going to see the JavaScript and CSS file right here, and one file, CSS file which is open outside the folder. But the professional way to have some CSS files, JavaScript files, and image files, the professional way is to create a folder and add those particular things inside a folder, so that in future you will be knowing that image folders having images which are being used in our web application, CSS files having the Bootstrap files for our project. Now, how to use our Bootstrap, I will just let you know. If we just add one more CSS file like this, we will be adding Bootstrap Grid. We have Bootstrap Grid, Bootstrap Robot Utility, and Bootstrap CSS. Now, if we just drag this Bootstrap CSS inside our page, just below the style sheet mentioned before, you're going to see the page automatically gets the link, the path where this Bootstrap has been situated. Okay, now what we will do, as we have used table, now let's change the design of the table. You can see it over here that we have taken the border for this particular table. So first of all, remove the border. We will be removing the border by making from 1 to 0, and then what we are going to do, we are going to put some space and we are going to write CSS class. In HTML code, it's come class, and in ASP control like button and text box, it comes like CSS class. So class, as we put equals to it, it's going to open a list of folders which this particular Bootstrap class, the CSS file, is having. We will be choosing table. So you can see there are many CSS class built for the tables. If I'll choose this table, means this table class is present inside this Bootstrap file somewhere, and we are just using this particular class. Now let's see if I put some classes for the table. The class name is table only. If I'll put the class inside the table, and if I just refresh the page, how does it look? Now here it goes. You can see the entire scenario of the page has been changed. Okay, the border for the this one, the grid, has been changed. The font of the text is also been changed. There, at the top of the bottom, at the top of the screen, everything has been changed. Now let's do one thing. Now let's just pull this screen down, and let's see how does it look if we just resize the page. Okay, here you can see all the buttons are getting adjusted below by itself as I change the size. Can you see it? So this is what happened if we use the CSS Bootstrap files, CS class. So to make this particular form responsive, we don't have to write CSS designing, and we don't have to worry about the JavaScript files for the CSS. Everything is getting taken load for the Bootstrap only. Okay, the design will get very much good automatically. The text box size and the text box first. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll just remove the CSS class which I have written for the text box and button. Now let's see what's happened for. Okay, if I just remove the class, because entire table I have given under Bootstrap CSS, so I don't think I will be needing separate CSS class for buttons and text box. So I'm going to remove the CSS class for buttons and text box, and I will be seeing what happened if I just remove it, as I will be using Bootstrap. So the implementation of the Bootstrap and the downloading of the Bootstrap is very simple. You just have to copy the folders for CSS and JavaScript also. It depends upon the requirement of the user and the developer, what CSS class they use from Bootstrap. I will be using only one file, which is Bootstrap. And not only, there is only one class inside the Bootstrap file, Bootstrap CSS file. There are many classes written inside the Bootstrap CSS file. If you go to the Bootstrap CSS file, and if you just double click to it, Bootstrap CSS, you will find many classes like this, and many classes inside the Bootstrap. You will find media query also. What is media query? I'll be telling you later. And many classes pre-written inside the CSS files of Bootstrap folder. So we are not going to change or modify anything inside this particular folder. Now let's see how does our screen look like. Okay, there's an error in page line 78. Line 78. Okay, I just missed this one. The tag. I haven't. Okay, now just refresh the page. Now you can see the size of the button has been changed automatically by itself, and the grid. Okay, you can see the grid is not responsive. The grid is not responsive, but the buttons are. The buttons are responsive. The form became automatically responsive. So these things happen if we use the class of CSS file of Bootstrap. Now I'm going to show you some examples also. Means today every site, every website is using, every website and web application. Even I also use Bootstrap in our project because it's very easy to call the classes. We don't have to think about the responsive or the mobile application. How does it look like? We just use the Bootstrap CSS and add the classes to the tables and or to the text box, and everything is done by the Bootstrap CSS file. There are many files for the text box also. If I just add a text box CSS class equals to text box, do we have text box? Okay, text body, text breaks, text center, text dark, text info, lowercase, mid center, and there are many text success, text start, text warning, text these things. So it's upon completely upon ourselves that what class we use. To use the class, you should know the property and the thing which is. I will be using text center, text break, text body, text black. I will be using text dark. Let's see what's happened. You should know that what does this particular CSS file of the Bootstrap do upon the control. Then only you will be able to use the that particular CSS class. Okay, so nothing happens. Email where we have written father name. Father name, let's write something. Now let's see what's happened. Okay. So nothing much happened with the text box. So let's try some other CSS. Text box, text tab, contain, panel, table, table success, text captcha, text break, text center. Now let's see what's text center do with our text box. With the father. Okay, now you can see if in email, if I write something, it start with left. If I click on father name and if I write something, it start from the middle. So this particular CSS file from the Bootstrap CSS text center will make this particular text box alignment center, the text alignment center. If I just write text only, let's see what's happened. Text, does it have any CSS file with the text? No, it doesn't have any file with in the name of text. So this is the way how we use our Bootstrap and CSS file. So all you guys, whoever have joined late also, but whatever I have done till here and whatever I'm doing or I'm trying to do, I want to know from you two guys, from all you guys, that is the explanation tells you everything how to use CSS and what are the benefits of CSS. S. Ghosh, Pratyush Kumar Padhi, any comment or shall I proceed further? Okay. Much more in this Bootstrap because Bootstrap itself is a very big chapter. Okay, nowadays everybody is using Bootstrap in order to make their application more responsive, more compatible for Android also. Means they could open in Android also. Now what I will do, I will open a website. Okay, I will use MuteBreak. I will use MuteBreak only because it is responsive also. And now what I will do, I will just resize the page and see how does Bootstrap CSS affects the page in order to change the control position according to the width and height of the mobile or tablet screen. it is getting a little bit longer because the sharing of the screen is also been made with you all guys. Once it get open, we will be continuing to show you everything. Okay, it is getting open. Now let's do one thing. I will just plug this page and I will just resize this page. Now you can see somebody's open in mobile phone. The look which they are going to get is like this, all in a vertical manner. So I haven't wrote my code in such a manner that the position of the controls in a desktop version changes automatically to the mobile version. These all codes are being pre-written inside the Bootstrap file, Bootstrap folder, the CSS files, the JavaScript files. And only what I did, I just called those particular classes on my controls. So what happened, those particular controls adapted the features and the design of that particular CSS class automatically. And I don't have to worry about the mobile responsive thing for any other web application. So you can see all things comes in a vertical manner. Means this is how it is going to see the mute break on your mobile phone, all on a vertical manner. But as soon as you just maximize the screen, it automatically get adjusted according to the desktop version. This is the main and you can say very important feature of using Bootstrap. Whenever you think of designing something, always use Bootstrap CSS. And CSS is nothing but a collection of a CSS file is nothing but the collection of many classes in it, the design classes in it, color, the border, and every other thing. And that class we have to use in our control, in our particular design part on its screen. Means if we add classes in our text box, the design part in which the design part in which the CSS is written, all those designs are going to attach with the drop down list or the button. That's it. We don't have to write it separately in every control that this particular button should have black color, white font, hide this, length this, and any other things. We don't have to write it individually. Rather than we can write it on one place, which is CSS file, and we can call that particular class to every other control we want. Just as I said, I'm saying right now also, it's all dependent on the requirement of the user or the developer. So you can see that there are two vertical lines in which the content, the articles are being showed. But what happens if somebody open this particular page inside the mobile phone? Thus resizing and the adjustment of the controls inside the page are being set in a uniform manner on any phone according to the screen size. And how these things is taking place, all because of Bootstrap, because the controls, the classes which Bootstrap is having, the classes which Java is having, I'm just using those class. Now if I just resize the page, you can see that the 2 row is converted into 1 row. How this has been changed? Because of the Bootstrap, because I have used Bootstrap file in every control. So that control knows that if the size of the screen is 420 or 320, how it's going to be adjust, what are things to be shortened. If somebody's have a tab that I will call the same CSS, and that particular same CSS have all the features that in a tab, how it's going to be seen in a mobile phone, how it's going to be seen. All the JavaScript and CSS files are there inside a folder of Bootstrap, and you can use Bootstrap CSS and JavaScript file in any of your project in order to make it, and it's all depend upon your creativity, how you design your page. So in here, what I did, I just added a table CSS, a table class to the table in which we have designed, and you can see 1% only, but the design changed of the entire tables, the size related to size. So this is the feature of CSS and Bootstrap. There are many more advanced features also, which every experienced developer create or use in order to fulfill the requirement of the client. I just showed you a very simple one. Now what we are going to do, in tomorrow class, we are going to use some templates and changing in templates. So I would like to say something about tomorrow sessions also. What templates are the pre-made web applications in HTML and CSS and JavaScript, having CSS and JavaScript. A pre-made template, but the thing is that they are paid ones. We have to buy the templates. Some have $1, some have $2, some have $3. It's according to the deepness and the density of the template. How many pages does the template have? What is the look of the template? All this depend upon the requirement of the client or the developer. So I believe the explanation of CSS in detail, explanation of Bootstrap introduction and implementation of Bootstrap is clear to all you guys. There is not much to know about in this particular topic. It's all depend upon your practice, how many days and how many hours of in a day you practice the CSS. Okay, try to download the latest version of CSS. The latest version is Bootstrap 5.0. If you want to know what magic the CSS can do to your controls, to your screen, just for advanced level, I'm saying, just search about the controls, just search about the list of the classes used in Bootstrap CSS file. What are the advantages of it? How to use it? If you get those things, you can use that particular classes to your control of your project also. Okay. So tomorrow what we are going to do, we are going to use how to use templates and changing of templates, because we have some people have templates also. I mean, templates is nothing but the ready-made website. Ready-made website is a template. You can download it from net also. Some are paid, some are free also, and change some things and the changing of materials inside the templates. Tomorrow what you are going to see, you are going to see much more advanced tags in HTML and JavaScript, as I will be showing you the use of templates and how does it being used. So by this, I think everything is clear to you all guys. The thing was that it is not a very big topic to understand the CSS and the properties of CSS and what are the Bootstrap and CSS files using of Bootstrap. It's not a very big thing. If you have any doubt, you can just WhatsApp me or mail me, as I have left my email ID to you all guys earlier also. And tomorrow we'll be discussing about the using templates, how to cut the time into short in order to design the entire pages one by one by ourselves, or downloading a 1-minute template which we have and changing on that particular template and uploading it for the client. So you will find it easier and beneficial also if you use templates. I'm not asking you to use templates from the beginning. Remember, I'm not asking you to use the template from the beginning, because before using templates, you need to know some very basic things like tags, like JavaScript also, and many other things. We will be discussing about JavaScript also in one of our sessions. How to use authentication means if you don't write SMS user ID and password, there should be a pop-up message. Okay, and that particular pop-up message should not be server-side code, because it should not send request to the server and again request come from the server and then it will show wrong password. That should not happen. If I just click the button, the authentication, the leaving of the blank spaces, the leaving of name, the leaving of MS SQL database, the leaving of any other thing cannot be closed if I just make some separate GoToMeeting user. So by this, I think you all have understood, and I will be ending this session. We will be seeing you guys tomorrow exactly at 8. There was some issue with the net and the password. That's why it took a little bit longer for us to join, you and I. But tomorrow, I think we'll be joining at exact 8 p.m. and we'll be discussing about the changing in the using templates. We'll be discussing about the JavaScript validation also. So tomorrow's session is going to be a little bit interesting, as you're going to see some very professional works also on the screen. So thank you guys. Thank you for being with me. I hope you guys understand everything which I just told you. We will be discussing our next topic tomorrow. So try to be on time, and I will make you sure that tomorrow we are not going to face any difficulties regarding joining to the session and regarding the password. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. I'll take my leave.